she put a pot on she hair and gone. Them a the first one out on the dam. Basket on she head, bucket in each hand. Hold up on she frock, I wanna she grandson. To the market, them a go. For the morning, the day is dawning. For 𝒂𝒊𝒄𝒍𝒂𝒊𝒎 to give the villagers a warning. Rise and shine, the birds them a sing. All animal take turn as them join in the waking. 𝒂𝒊𝒄𝒍𝒂𝒊𝒎, dagaba, donkey, bray, horse, and they even duck a quack. 𝒂𝒊𝒄𝒍𝒂𝒊𝒎, dagaba, donkey, bray, horse, and they even duck a quack. Come and hear this sweet story that tell the people about life in the country. All day a back down, me now a come home. Inaga jackass yard for fetchy load. Courdel Jones, bag over shoulder, running by his side, a 𝒄𝒐𝒑𝒚𝒓𝒊𝒈𝒄 Rover. From the farm, them a come. Sun a go down but up the river. Some washing clothes, some folks are bathing at the water. Fisherman, they catch them a bring. From a canoe boat, man, them start offloading. Aymara, Kwakwari, Hail Baka Kuma Kuma, even Lokonani. Aymara, Kwakwari, Hail Baka Kuma Kuma, even Bangameri. Listen to this sweet story that tell the people about life in the country. Them children glad when the weekend come. Out in the yard, them all gather round. Some a play catcher, some making house from straw. Two who come later, a grandma or grandpa, all a sit down just a wait. Moonlight so bright, it's just the right time to listen story or to say a little nursery rhyme. Grandpa voice a echo in the night as he tell some picnic a there with fright. Oh, Ligan, Mungeza, Massa Kurma Buranansi, even Watamuma. Oh, Ligan, Mungeza, Massa Kurma Buranansi, even Watamuma. Yeah, man, that's the true story that tell the people about life in the country, life in the country.
Oh, morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning, morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning. You can keep your conniving morning. When you been a corrupong, you not been tell me morning. No, because your money done, you come with conniving morning. When you had your pocket full, you not been tell me morning. No, because your money done, you hustle for tell me morning. Morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. Neighbor, neighbor, Joe come. Neighbor, neighbor, Joe come. Neighbor, neighbor, Joe come. This is all the money that me work for. A 2 pound a note and a gilla piece. A 2 pound a note and a gilla piece. A 2 pound a note and a gilla piece. This is all the money that me work for. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. Oh, Joseph, pour me. Oh, Joseph, pour me. Oh, Joseph, pour me. What we could do with a killer piece? One bunch queen planting, one string quacquari, one Jill black pepper. All you could do with a killer piece. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. When you been a corrupong and I've been tell me morning. Now because your money done, you come with conniving morning. When you had your pocket full, you now been tell me morning. Now because your money done, you hustle for tell me morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. You can keep your conniving morning.
Oh yes, a lot of you gon' vex, but I tell you, sometimes you just got to listen. There's a child in every home and every community. They will grow up to be symbols of unity. They'll be colorblind to race and ethnicity. That's the vision of a leader like President Irfan Ali. I'm talking about the one Guyana where our people can live in peace, where every race trusts each other, where racial prejudice no longer exists. Our children will have one Guyana to grow up in a land united and free with equality and blessed with prosperity. For too long we've been fighting one another. It's race against race, but in the end the country suffer. Oh, we were born here, not in India nor Africa. But if we can't get along, the foreigners gon' eat we suffer. We must put an end to racism. Let it end now with this generation. Together we'll develop this nation. Make Guyana the gem of the Caribbean. Don't listen to them wicked politicians who will divide us to win an election. Believe it or not, Guyanese no smarter than that. Yeah, I told you, it's your boy Padmore. Unity is the key. We are all one and we should be treated as one. Our ancestors were slaves and laborers, but the life they endured made it better for us. We honor their sacrifice and the freedom they bought for we. But some descendants of slaves use that to fuel the rich. It doesn't matter what's your skin color, when we bleed blood it's red the same. Let's respect and love one another. When a brother cry we must feel the pain. We're Portuguese, African and Indian. We're Chinese mixed up, we're Amerindians. We're all Guyanese. Let's end this segregation. I'm appealing to Guyanese in the diaspora. We welcome you home. We've got a lot to offer. It's not the same place that you run away from. Come see the paradise Guyana has now become. I'm talking about the one Guyana where our people can live in peace, where every race trusts each other,
where racial prejudice no longer exists. Our children will have one Guyana, to grow up in a land united and free, with equality and blessed with prosperity. It's a message I just want you to understand. Stop and think for a minute. Really think for a minute. If we can't fix the present, then we should work on the future. Sometimes you just got to listen. There's a child in every home and every community. They will grow up to be symbols of unity. They'll be colorblind to race and ethnicity. That's the vision of a leader like President Irfan Ali. I'm talking about the one Guyana, where our people can live in peace, where every race trusts each other, where racial prejudice no longer exists. Our children will have one Guyana, to grow up in a land united and free, with equality and blessed with prosperity. For too long we've been fighting one another. It's race against race, but in the end the country suffer. Oh, we were born here, not in India nor Africa. But if we can't get along, the foreigners gon' eat we supper. We must put an end to racism. Let it end now with this generation. Together we'll develop this nation. Make Guyana the gem of the Caribbean. Don't listen to them wicked politicians who will divide us to win an election, believe it or not. Guyanese now smarter than that. Yeah, I told you, it's your boy Padmore. Unity is the key.
Good morning, good morning, good morning to you, and welcome down to Livewire. You were rocking to the songs of Akeem Padmore Evans, the One Guyana Calypso tribute, a lovely song talking about coming together and being one. One people, one nation, one destiny, and ultimately one Guyana. Morning to everybody joining us across the 10 administrative regions. Morning to all the persons joining us from the diaspora. I do trust that you all are having a wonderful morning. A wonderful morning. Just a second. Right, sorry about that, people. I had to run off a quick message there. And right, so guys, this morning to all of you. Yeah, good morning to all of you again, lovely people here. It's Friday, the 19th of the 19th of April. People, the wharf roof fall down, and 𝒊𝒏𝒔 break water. We got things to discuss this morning. The Vice President also had his press conference yesterday, and he encouraged litigation from the former Prime Minister, 𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏 election, you know, the vice president would have made clear that he stands by his statements and he has evidence to back it up. We'll be looking at that a little bit today. I'm waiting for confirmation from Alfonso de Armas. Yeah, well, we're going to have Alfonso de Armas on the program here this morning. And I should say Councillor Alfonso de Armas from City Hall. He'll be on the program this morning. And of course, you know, we'll be discussing. Of course, you know, what we are going to be discussing, the incompetent mayor. And mind you, I am saying the mayor is incompetent. I don't know if Mr. Alfonso de Armas feels so. If he does, he'll say so, but that's my view. We'll be discussing the incompetent mayor, the lackadaisical mayor, the lazy mayor, the traveling mayor, that tall drink of water that is wasting his time there at City Hall. But we're going to give Mr. de Armas some time to get a little better signal. He's doing his daddy duties this morning, dropping off to school and that kind of thing. And as soon as he gets into the signal, he's going to log in, and we're going to have Mr. de Armas here talking to us a bit on the way forward in relation to City Hall. And I have some video I'll share with you as well of the cleanup process. And I want y'all to take note when you see the video I'm going to show you in a few of the cleanup process for the wharf that collapsed, the roof and the structure that collapsed there. I want y'all to take note that in the space of the time that the wharf collapsed and now, right, that facility could have been dismantled and removed from that area for the safety of the citizens of this capital city. So again, I'm calling for persons to protest the mayor, and the mayor should have the testicular fortitude to be a man and resign because of this horrible incident that happened under his watch. Horrible, horrible incident. Right? Good. So morning to Eddie Ramnath, Derek Drupal, Rahim Amarali, morning to you. Chris, Paul Joseph, Joan Abidjan joining us from Canada, Jamila Kayum, Sherwin Siram, Pam Singh, good morning to you and Trevor. I think Trevor gone already. You there in the garden. Pam sent me some fruit. Pam got some nice cabbage and pawpaw and stuff coming out by her there. It's good soil there in Antigua. Gil Ian, morning to you. Chitra Sukraj, Leroy Mangal, Narain Singh, Veer Badar, morning to you. Savita Sukraj joining us from Claremont, Florida. Good morning to you. I hope you're having good weather there. Prasad Patti, good morning to you. Maureen Razio, morning to you. Eunice Ragubir joining us from Canada. Morning to you and all the family, Eunice. I hope you had a wonderful week and you do have a restful weekend. Omar Sharif, morning to you from NYC. In the Paul Narain joining us from Minnesota. Indira is joining us as well. Morning to you. Rennie Prasad, Miss Ramcharan, Tracy Martindale, Aliyah Mohammed. I hope that you are doing better. I was asking for you the other day. I saw a post alluding to you being not well. I hope that you're better. It's really good to see you back on the live, and I wish you nothing but health and strength. Jasmine Baldio, good morning to you. Henry Jagdio, morning to you. Dionan Suku from Brampton, Canada, good morning. Sis Narain Samaru joining us from New York. Jane is joining us from St. Martin. Good morning to you, Jane. Hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend coming up. Jean Cornelius, good morning. Sunita Sukraj. Prem Prashad, morning to you. Who else we got here? Karen De Silva Ali, good morning. Lola Hari, Good morning to you. Ramnarayan Singh, Michael. Good morning, everybody. Pushram Kishore, Shakila Brijlal, Alan Khan, Fong Raja, Sunil Raghubir, Jasoda Budram, Malchan Prem Kumar, Arjun Jawahir. Well, yeah. Sherry Ramdai. Sherry Ramdai joining us from France. So we got two people from France, Anthony Wong and Sherry. That's good. Durajnath, morning to you. Ajay Chatterpal from Bartica. Big up yourself. The biggest big up to Council Stephanie Nelson. Hey, listen, you see this young lady here? This young lady is a real friend. You know, you don't really find a lot of genuine people in life. And this is a young lady I met recently, and she has been a true friend, a true friend, a true friend. So a special good morning to you, Councillor Stephanie Nelson Moore, and good morning to the town clerk who's supposed to come on this program this week and in conform with me, but we can try next week. Because guess what? City Hall still don't have no budget, you know. City Hall still ain't got no budget. City Hall still ain't got a budget. Padma Balwan, morning to you, Tara Brian, Keith Adams, Pandit Sunil Sharma, good morning to you. Nirmala Allen from Barbados, Rajan Dattadin, I think he's from New York, Soma Bipat and Hill, Rose, Edward Budu, Robert Ramp, Tulsi Ram Chetty, Tanya Mohabir. This is another really great comrade and friend. You hear me? These are the kind of people that make you rethink how you're thinking about, you know, society and people. Because sometimes you lose faith in people and humanity. Good morning to Mr. Roy Jaffarali on the live. I gotta find out the right name of his thing. So guys, whenever you're in Berbice, you could check out his. He has a I think it's a barbecue and grill, but they have really good food there. So if you're in Region 6. Hopefully he puts the address in the comments there. I could, you know, give them a shout out. Morning to Councillor Chase Green. Good morning to the councillor. One of my favorite councillors. My vice principal from Academy of Professional Studies. Good morning to you, Sir Vishnu Rampasad. Good morning to Miss Ward joining us from Bartica, Jasoda Sergeant, Michael, Aliyah Mohammed. Again, morning to you, Krista Kurpasad. So Tany's in Russia. Big up yourself, friend. Make me think about a China trip again. Oh my God. Delroy Jacobs! What? This is what going on this morning, man. This is what I don't understand. Me don't understand what going on here. Delroy Jacobs, morning to you from Bartica. A really great contractor, doing excellent work in that region, and also taking care of his corporate social responsibility and investing in the community and giving back to the youths. Shem morning to you, Gita Prasad, morning. Vishal, we taking calls today. Grill Masters, yeah, please check that out. Grill Masters in Region 6 there. If you guys want the service, they have a catering service there too. 654-8187. You guys can check them out. Really great food. You guys will be surprised. You guys will definitely be surprised. So check out Grill Masters, right? That's about it. That's right. That's right from Poland. All right, chap. All right, brother. Paul Ramkisoon, morning to you. Miss Van Saltimon, so yeah, morning to you and Miss Des. Morning, everybody. Morning, everybody. Jean Claude White. She says, my classmate. Jean, you make it go into you Facebook right away and see who's this. Jean says she's my classmate. All right. Let me see who's Jean by. Jean profile very private. Gene. Yes, the same Gene. I forgot to tell persons, and Tracy can knuckle me if I still. Gene profile very private. But he claim as a classmate. Anyway, so in Region 7 next weekend they'll be having a fun day. So if anybody interested in going up there and supporting, it will be at the 𝒏𝒐𝒂𝒊𝒈𝒕 Community Center ground next Saturday. So you guys could head up there and enjoy. No, let me jump into it quick. First things first. Listen to this.
Pass me, Mark, and the chairman is pass me. Right? To call me name in groups.
Morning to Miss Bob from Moko. Oh, business school. Okay, definitely, Gene.
But I'm not going back there. That is a pass.
Mr. Obraj, one of the names that I
listen, y'all watch Mark face. Watch Mark face as Mark listening to you when he done ask the question. Watch Mark.
saw that they called the chairman of all person is in no position to call someone semi-illiterate. This is a chairman of a party calling a man who represented the party at the council at the city as mayor.
Mind you, I don't know Mark 𝒏𝒔𝒄𝒊𝒈𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈𝒄 talking about what represented the city at the council as mayor. 𝒂𝒑 represent nobody but himself. You hear me? I used to live in Georgetown at them times, and I am saying to you, Gillian Lewis, don't be asking about my school days. I was a good child. But I'm saying to y'all, right? 𝒂𝒑 should be the last person, because he has no legacy there as the mayor. 𝒂𝒑 has nothing that he could look back and say, this is a policy I put forward in the city, or I brought stability to City Hall. I brought City Hall's finances back into good standing. I ensured that City Hall had a proper asset register to hand over to this Warriors Alfred mentor that we got as a mayor. Right? But again, look at Mark 𝒏𝒔𝒄𝒊𝒈𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈𝒄 face as 𝒂𝒑 is responding to him.
Represented the people of Georgetown. And again, I say the chairman of all person shouldn't be calling people semi-illiterate. How does that make you feel, Mr. Mayor? Be called the chairman of your party?
I can tell the chairman, the current chairman, my chairman for the PNC, I can bring more resources to the PNC than him. That is what I will tell him. I can bring more resources.
Listen, people, this is going to get worse. You understand me? This is going to get worse, definitely. So as we lead up to the PNC Congress, you keep looking out for these things. Excuse me. 𝒂𝒑 is hurt. 𝒂𝒑 is hurt. They're talking about him in groups. Come on, how y'all gonna do that to the former mayor? Right? I remember, this is the mayor. Mind you, this mayor, no, but this roof at Starbrook too. So this roof was horrible under his tenure. You understand me? Hand it over to mentor. Mentor look at it falling on the people. And instead of 𝒂𝒑, go on Mark 𝒏𝒔𝒄𝒊𝒈𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈𝒄 and talk about his shortcomings as the mayor, the fact that he did not fix the wharf, the fact that he did not deal with street vending, the fact that they did not deal with. Do y'all remember? What's who do the buy? I ain't remember, so I ain't gonna talk about it. But the market areas are in a massive confusion. A massive confusion. Right? Alfred Mentor went to Ghana. Alfred Mentor went to Ghana to fix our markets. And he came back and one fell down. That's the results you get. Right? Now, all they are focused on is who calling who names, who running for head of party. It is so, I don't want to say good, because it's never good to endorse or paint any lightness to racism. And Quincy Hanson, I'm coming to the semi-illiterate part. Look, these people is trouble, right? These people is trouble. So it's going to get worse. It is going to get worse. Now remember, the PPP is the party that don't like black people, and they're marginalizing and they're racial towards Afro-Guyanese and all sorts of things. 400 of them get killed, then it's 12, then it's 4,800, and all those things that you hear, all those things that you hear. Now, all of a sudden, the party that is supposed to be all embracing the PNC, the Indo-Guyanese are running helter-skelter. Or as the Guyanese say, helter-skelter. Running helter-skelter. Now, I heard Mark Benchcop talk about a semi-illiterate. So, well, I mean, were you semi-stupid? No, I know about being semi-literate. So you have some knowledge of it, but not a complete understanding. You have some understanding of something. But is Mark Benchcop confirming that he and all semi-literate? What's going on there? Are these two semi-fully done? Oh my God!
To the PNC than him. I can pick up my phone and I can get things done.
Yeah, but here. Why he didn't do that as mayor? Anybody wondering? Vishal are taking calls today. So if you're here and you want to call, I'm taking a call today. Right? Uraj says he could pick up his phone and get things done. Why we didn't see that during his tenure as mayor? Picking up his phone, getting things done in the city. Honestly, the smallest child, when you hear Ubraj Narain, you don't think of a park, you don't think of a facility, you don't think of transformation, right? You don't think about transformation. What do you think about when you think about Ubraj Narain? An idiot lying down in front of a truck. An idiot preaching religious division in this country. Now, when your own people turn on you, you run into Mark Benchcop to complain. Mark Benchcop probably don't even like you, Braj.
Yeah. The eyes pass me, Mark. And the chairman, eyes pass me.
You see the passion in Ubraj? Does not look at the difference between Ubraj and Amno. They talk about Amno, but Amno take it with on the chain like a G. Ubraj is upset. The
eyes pass me, Mark. And the chairman, eyes pass me. Right? To call me name in groups. But I'm not going back there. That is a pass.
You know, Mr. Obraj, one of the names that I saw that they called the chairman of all person is in no.
Now wait, man. Y'all look at Ubraj. Ubraj literally vibrating with vexation. You understand? Ubraj literally. Let me take myself off the screen. Let y'all see this thing big. You understand me? I coming off the screen so y'all can see this thing big. Look at Ubraj.
Yeah. The eyes pass me, Mark. And the chairman, eyes pass me. Right? To call me name in groups. But I'm not going back there. That is a pass.
You know, Mr. Obraj, one of the names that I saw that they called the chairman of all person is in no position to call someone semi-illiterate. This is a chairman of a party calling a man who represented
the chairman semi-literate himself. He know better. Huh? The chairman ain't know better. The chairman fully done himself. Y'all remember when Sherwin Holder they come with a calculation to Parliament? He and Christina and 𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒎 all them went to school together. All them. All them. Anyway, we can run this here and move on. INC Council DR must reach to the stable internet here.
the party at the council, at the city, as mayor, represented the people of Georgetown. And again, I say the chairman of all persons.
Arlene Ward, perfect point. Look at the condition of the former mayor. Look at he. Look at he. There's a bottom house mayor.
Person shouldn't be calling people semi-literate. How does that make you feel, Mr. Mayor?
You
to
know,
be called the chairman of your party.
I can tell the chairman, the current chairman, my chairman for the PNC, I can bring more resources to the PNC than him. That is what I will tell him. I can bring more resources to the PNC than him. I can.
And that may be true, you know, because Sherwin Holder is completely useless. Sherwin Holder. This by, oh my God. Listen, Sherwin, this by threw me off a white talk. This banner's problem.
Pick up my phone and I can get things done, which I am doing out of the office of mayor. I don't have to go to a function and say to them, I am the chairman of the PNCR.
Right, 𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒎 is known. 𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒎 is known worldwide for his stupidity and his poor English. So as people see him, they know that is 𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒎, the former PNC mayor. Nobody don't know Sherwin Holder. Sherwin Holder is a stupid non-entity. 𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒎 is a known stupid entity. That's the difference between the two. How dare Sherwin Holder? How dare him? 𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒎 has made his name based on his stupidity and the levels of stupidity exhibited. How dare you, Sherwin Holder? You can't hold a candle to 𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒎. You hear me? 𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒎 is the chief cook and bottle washer in terms of stupidity commitment. No. You gotta see but like the third. Because they got Brain, they got David Patterson, and I really feel them two got degrees in stupidity. You hear what I'm telling you? So you leave this guy alone, Sherwin.
I made my name in the PNC and I will continue to make it. whether the leadership like me or not. I am not going nowhere.
He made his name. He lied on under the truck. That's what people remember him for. Right? He lied on under the truck. Try to pit Hindus and Muslims against each other. He crashed up his car, flip it over, not just crash the car, jam somebody. Flip the car. Right? The wheels were not on the ground at Middle and Carmichael Street. 𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒎. Pull gun pon the father-in-law. So 𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒎 made his name. And here is some talk about bandit, but I ain't got the information, so I ain't gonna lean on it too much. But here is something about a bandit. But yeah. You understand me? 𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒎 benefit 𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒎's legacy is that he benefit twice from government subsidized house lots. Y'all remember when Minister Rodriguez revealed that? So 𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒎's got more legacy than you, Sherwin. So you gotta relax yourself.
I staying right here in the PNC. I'm not running to go anywhere. I want them to get.
Listen.
I'm not going nowhere. I staying right here in the PNC. I'm not running to go anywhere. And I want them to get that straight. The eyes pass me mark. And the other comments that tolerate this nonsense need to stop it.
According to the Council Chase Greens, the alleged Texas Ranger, You hear me? It's trouble in this place. Now, I want to take you all back to Starbrook Wharf. Councillor Diarma should be here shortly, right? Camille Ryan from Minnesota, welcome. Now, this is just to give you an update on the cleanup effort here at the wharf. Uh, there have been several teams working through the night to ensure that the facility is safe. I see the councillors in here already, right? There are crews working there in the middle of the night to ensure that this facility, one, the debris is moved away, and it's in a safe condition. Just on the side of that facility is where the boats that ferry persons from the west side to the east side, or the east side to whichever side you want, west to east, east to west, right? That's where they get off. And I noticed yesterday the Transport and Harbor had identified a separate area for persons to embark and disembark these vessels that are transporting them. Good morning to you, Councillor Diarmas. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us this morning. I know you've probably been up really late trying to find remedies to this solution here, to this situation we here have at the Starbrook Wharf. Before we jump in, could you give us a rundown of I saw you there with the president on the day of the incident. Give us a rundown on that walk about His Excellency and some of the commitments that were probably made to the vendors in that area.
Well, I can't speak to any of the commitments. That was done by His Excellency along with ministers, the ministers that accompanied him as well. But I can't say about the overarching goal is to make sure that this never happens again. That the debris is cleared. The president was quite clear. He instituted a task force almost immediately to deal with this. It includes city council. It includes stakeholders from local government, from public works, and so on. So that's one of the reasons why this was dealt with almost immediately. I can't imagine the disaster that would have occurred had it just been city council dealing with this disaster. So I'm tremendously thankful to President Ali and the members of his cabinet that stepped in and filled that gap, because this could have been so much worse.
Yeah. No, I understand that there was an emergency statutory meeting yesterday.
Correct, there was.
What was the outcome there? And we know usually when these things happen or something similar to this happens and it falls on the City Hall purview, we don't get much action. But I'm hoping for the best. You were at the meeting yesterday. What has the mayor said, or what was proffered to remedy this situation here from City Hall standpoint?
Well, I want to say that I think that the mayor is in a tremendously difficult position, partly of his own making, because we've been in there. He's been mayor for about 9 months already, and I think he could have been more proactive in driving changes at City Hall, making sure that City Hall is more proactive about issues like this. The buck stops with him, when it comes down to it. So, what has he proffered? Nothing different to his party line, which is, if the government, this is happening because the government starves the city of resources, blah 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 blah. Nothing that we haven't seen expressed by Aubrey Norton or any of the PNC acolytes around the place. I want to say this. Courdel. While I would have loved for yesterday to have been a solution finding session, I think first it's important for us to diagnose ourselves, and by us I mean I'm a member of the city council as well, to diagnose ourselves to see what went wrong. Yeah. Right, because this is entirely city council's fault, and the truth is the market is run and managed and maintained by city council. So the blame lies squarely at the feet of city council. And until we were able to accept that, proffering any sort of profound solutions to this issue is an exercise in futility.
No, Councillor, I saw an interview with the mayor where he spoke to the fact that this market had been condemned since 2016, the 2016-2017 time. As a council, do you believe that City Hall, with its limited resources, could have done more to safeguard this facility, or just dismantle it before this would have happened?
Yes, this ought to have been dismantled. This is this is what I'm saying exactly, Courdel. This is entirely a failing of City Council. This could have been dismantled years ago. As you say, this thing was condemned nearly a decade ago, right? And it took this for it to be dismantled. I'll just say this: they continue to preach about lack of resources and starvation in the city, that the government is playing games at City Hall, all sorts of nonsense. But they don't say, for example, that they've gotten subventions from government, $30 million each. 2022, for instance, they got a subvention to buy some, those infamous compactors, of which money's still lying in an account because they haven't used all of it. There was, the usual incompetence with the procurement process, etc. So what this boils down to is horrible management. If you know that you get this money, this amount of money in council every single year, it's not very difficult to allocate some of the funds to at least tear this down. At least tear this down. This continual preaching and the screeching to the high heavens of victimization and starving the cities of resources just sounds hollow at this point. It just sounds hollow. It's a function of council's inability to get its financial house in order. That's what it boils down to. Look, the first quarter of fiscal year 2024 has passed already, and there's no budget has been presented. And last year the budget wasn't presented until 2023. Without a budget in place, how can you allocate funds for these things? You are just making decisions on the fly. You're making ad hoc decisions. You don't know what your cash flow is, what your cash flow is going to be. Council in the absence of financial information. Councilors are called to make decisions with no evidence and no data to back them up. So, I'm quite certain. Sorry, go ahead, Courdel.
So I want to ask you this, and for the viewers' sake and the persons listening to us, because we often hear about subvention. Based on your knowledge, which is greater, the council's budget or the subvention?
Well, it's the council's budget. That's for sure.
If the budget is, let's say the subvention is 30 million, and their budget is 200 million, 500 million, why is this heavy dependency on the subvention?
Because, Courdel, they don't manage their resources properly. Like I said, there's no budgeting function. If you're unable to, as a council, as a business, if you're unable to produce any sort of financial statements, if you're at the beginning of your fiscal year, when you're planning out your operations and the things that you want to do, if you're unable to produce a simple balance sheet, a simple cash flow statement, a simple income and expenditure statement, then how can you manage how can you manage your revenues properly?
Yeah.
If you're and you don't have reconciled bank statements since 2021, right? All of this, I know I keep ringing this bell, but all of this, what we're seeing now here, is a function of the lack of accountability and transparency that City Council is plagued with.
Right.
That's what it is.
Yeah. No, Councillor. Again, I think I had you on here. What basically information that I got, that a report is supposed to be submitted from the Ghana trip that's supposed to save the markets in the capital city. Have you received the report? Has an official report been submitted to the council on the way forward based on the trips that are being had and supposed to be had in the future?
No, I haven't seen anything yet. But to be fair to the mayor, only one statutory council has passed since his return. So we have another statutory meeting coming up soon. I hope to see a report tabled then. I'm not holding my breath, but let's give him some time.
So last week, I think it was the week before, I heard a letter. I shared a letter here on the program that you would have written requesting some information. Have you done any follow-up, and was any information forthcoming in relation to the request you made in that letter?
Well, I was told that I was making a mountain out of a molehill.
Apples and oranges again.
That I was making a mountain out of a molehill. Courdel, if the city council, the budget and financial statements are like the city's rudder. Without that, we don't know what we're doing. You can and other councillors can speak to this, not just on my side, but on the other side as well. Successive budgets have been passed, but they have no bearing on reality. It's like they pluck figures out of thin air, and they expect those the money to magically materialize, because they're not based on any sort of reality. They're not based on last year's actual expenditures, because they don't have statements to show that. So then how can you budget? How can you say we're going to spend $40 million, $50 million on upgrading the roof at the 𝒏𝒐𝒕𝒆 market, for example? You don't know where the money is going to come from. And what often ends up happening is when it comes time to execute some of these projects, they're half done, or they're quarter way done, because there's no money. There's no money. Yeah. And it's not that there's no money, but they would cry to high heavens that there's no money because City Hall hasn't done, because government hasn't honored its obligations, and all sorts of nonsense.
So at yesterday's meeting, was there any discussion in relation to any other facilities in similar condition that may fall on people or kill them or whatever it is?
Yes, there was. There's East 𝒏𝒐𝒕𝒆 market, there was Border market, discussions on those. Markets that we as PPP councillors have had to visit and highlight the woeful state for any sort of thing to get done. And the reality is that it's only a matter of time until similar tragedies as the one that happened at Starbrook the other day begin to occur around the city, because they've left their key assets to rot and to decay.
Yeah.
Right.
So I am, look, yesterday I saw an interview with the mayor, and he claimed that persons were going there at their own risk, and I feel like the city constabulary, they could have cordoned that area better and did more to ensure that persons were not there. And I maintain, councillor, if you're telling me that this place has been condemned from 2016 or 2017, you're telling me in 2024 you didn't receive any information that persons still occupying that area that is condemned for you to take some kind of action?
You're right. That's why yesterday I said that the buck stops with the mayor. We all know how horrible and how dilapidated and how at risk, how dangerous that facility was, and yet nothing was done. No council decision was taken, for example, to order the city constab to cordon off the area and to be more and to enforce the cordon. Nothing was done. That's why we say that the mayor is ultimately responsible, because he's the chief interlocutor between councillors and admin. I see Councillor Jacobs has joined. He has been quite vocal in pointing out that whenever the mayor wants things done on behalf of admin, he wields his gavel and he makes things happen. So why didn't he make anything happen? Why didn't he make anything happen with the stelling? It's negligence, plain and simple.
Yeah. Councillor Jacobs, morning to you. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us this morning.
Hey, morning, Courdel. Morning, Councillor Alfonso. Thanks for having me. Morning to the viewers and listeners.
Yeah. So, Councillor Jacobs, your thought on this Starbrook market roof collapse? I am personally saying this is the mayor's fault. The mayor is the man in charge. He's been there for some time. this facility has been there like this for some time. He should have done something. Share your thoughts with us.
No, Courdel, you're absolutely correct. It was a very sad episode. What transpired a few days ago. Luckily, not luckily, we had no casualties. We had a few injuries and so forth. But you know, I like to make reference to the sport I played in cricket. Cricket. So when you're the captain of the team, right? When you win the trophy, you step up to the podium and you receive it, right? As the captain, you get all the he had and praises.
Right.
So the mayor being the captain of this team, he needs to take responsibility. That is
Mm.
why you always have somebody who's in charge that directs. But Cordell, it's gross incompetence, and also a will and a passion for a change. And I continue to say this. You look at successful people. It could be sport. It could be you look at a clear example is Excellency President Ali. Look at how he operates. Look at what he pays a lot of emphasis on. He cares to the people. He went down there straight away. But it's gross incompetence, neglect, and it's a that WAF there is an embodiment of the main city council and what the AP and UAFC stands for basically.
Yeah, I agree. No, no. I saw you also with the president on the walkabout. You're from the area of Kitty. You have a market there that has been rebuilt, but it is in some terrible condition and it hasn't been used as yet. No, I was asking Councillor Alfonso about Councillor the Arbus is be so stressed out. The situation is so stressful. Now you have a market there that you in Kitty. Well, not you, but the council has a market in Kitty, and that market hasn't even been open, and it's in horrible condition. I was asking Council the Armas if there was discussions on other facilities that could have a similar situation to Starbrook Wharf, and how the council plans to remediate. What are your thoughts on what you heard yesterday in relation to that?
Yesterday, for me, it was a waste of time. Nothing solid came out. Nothing solid, like a form, assertive plan. And, this
Right.
is reminiscent of what happens throughout, these council meetings. I'm going to give you an example here right now, Cordell. We have the East Penitence Market. The clerk of market, sorry, during his administrative presentation to us, um, always make mention to this market and the call for emergency works at a specific area in that market. That is the roof, where it can cause harm and even death to someone. But we
Right.
skip, but you skip past that every single meeting. But again, I raised it even yesterday. I raised it. Nothing. We delved away from that and we went somewhere else. We dived. So this is the level of thinking of the mayor. If he
Mm.
can't, if he doesn't have personal interest in something, or if nothing can be brokered, he doesn't want to pay attention to it. Now the kitty market, they claim that it's going to be placed in the budget, but Cordell, all of us know the budget is just a static framework. Nothing will happen. All 75 to 80% of the finances pays the staff of the mayor city council.
Right.
And we continue to preach day in, day out in council whenever we have meetings of trying to garner more revenues. Even yesterday it was mentioned. Again, nothing. We just want to speak about central government, central government, central government. But you see that central government is taking over basically in doing the roads and fixing the drains, and work will continue in Georgetown and right around Guyana.
Yeah.
So, Cordell, it's a serious task ahead, and we're prepared to fight the battle and push the mayor and push the AP and U-led council, and we're going to make them work. And in 2026, with the support of citizens, hopefully we get our turn.
Councillor the Armas. Could you speak to the posturing of the other PNC councillors? We understand the mayor's stance, but based on your view and what you would have heard, how are they looking at this incident, and are they proffering any remedies to the situation?
Courdel, I like to be fair. And yesterday we did have a few of their councillors stand up and actually call for solutions that they've another one of their councillors, I don't want to call any names, stood up and said that he's been in council 9 months as well, and this council 9 months as well, and not once has he heard any plans or any sort of thing being mentioned about the styling. So I do want to be fair. There are some councillors that are really interested in the welfare of the city in the APNU. It's unfortunate though that they don't have strong leadership to guide them, and of course there are always the calls of the victimization. That the government is not honoring their obligations to city hall. So until and unless we diagnose ourselves and accept that we're culpable, no significant changes are going to be seen.
Courdel, if I can just interject there.
Sure, go ahead.
Alfonso always, he likes to be fair. Listen, we have committees here that has more. The finance committee, one PPPC councillor.
Yeah.
They're making the decisions.
Right.
Well, I was referring to yesterday.
If it comes to voting on an issue, they will stay together and vote.
Right.
So I'm not, listen, there's nothing about fear here. It's lopsided, it's one-sided. We stand up every day. From the BBBC council's end, we make strong representation for the citizens, and we also advocate for change. We continue to push this APNU-led council to get stuff done for the citizens. But when it comes to serious matters, they hold one head, if you want me to put it like that, and vote accordingly. So unless they get it done, I'm not going to say it to be fair to anyone, because they're a part of it. If they want, let's work together then. Let's put somebody with some sort of will in that mayor's seat, and let's get the stuff done. Simple as that for me.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Councillor Jacobs. Councillor Jacobs is 100% correct. But I was referring to yesterday's statutory meeting. But in general, though, their committees, and council is managed by committee, right? The committees where PPP councillors were excluded in general. We have absolutely no say in them. For example, the social development committee. There is no, and that's a standing committee of council. There's absolutely no PPP representation there. And in other committees, there's only one or two PPP councillors there. I think we're just there because, just statutorily, our votes really don't matter because we're outnumbered 5-1, 6-1, 7-1 in those committees. So in general, they're right. I remember the mayor when he was inaugurated, or when he was elected, preached inclusion and burying the hatchet, and then promptly went on to elect to exclude PPP councillors.
Council Diarmas, you beat the mayor. The mayor was selected, sir. The mayor was selected, sir. Not elected. He was selected.
Thank you.
Right? Selected, sir. You beat him at the local government elections. I don't know if you forget, but let me remind you. He was selected to be there.
Anyway, yes.
Anyway,
right.
Moving on. And this question is to both of you. The selected mayor who is currently there, as I said, I lay the blame at his feet. Do you think, and if you don't want to respond, that's fine. Do you think that the mayor should probably step aside based on this incident? And could y'all give me your hypothetical thoughts? If this was a sitting PPP mayor that this happened under, what the repercussions and the stuff in the media would have been like? If this was let's say Alfonso Diarmas was mayor, how you think people would have responded to it?
Well, what the media would have, what the media, I can tell you what the Village Voice and those rags would have said. They would have accused us of racism. First of all, outright racism, because the Corrector McDonald's and the Arby Nortons would have been out there saying that because we're PPP, we don't care about the vendors,
Right.
and right, and they would be the first to bring race into this. I guarantee you that's what have happened. That's what would have happened. And then they would have called for the mayor to resign, which is what I think ought to happen. I've been quite vocal about this. Councillor Jacobs was quite vocal about this. All on our side, we're quite vocal about it. I mean, I understand that he's in a difficult position, but I mean, that's what I think ought to happen.
Yeah. Councillor Jacobs?
If the mayor has any sort of integrity, he should resign. When you look back at history, you'll see that the Starbrook Wharf collapsed under the mayorship of Alfred Mentor. I stood up weeks ago, months ago, and I said to the mayor, you have to determine what you want to be seen as and how you want your tenure to go.
Yeah.
And it's very clear. And even within his own mix, people are very unhappy. When I said own mix, his councillors are very unhappy on how he's operating. And you see the frustration in their faces sometimes daily. But
Yeah.
just like Councillor Alfonso said, we know anything to do with the People's Progressive Party, Civic, how it's blown out of proportion. But the good thing about it that you have smart people, who can speak and continue to have guidance and continue to work and keep out the noise and work
Right.
for the people. I want to bring something to your attention. I know I came into the program late. I don't know if it was mentioned. But yesterday, something came up in the meeting that the town clerk spoke about. That it was alleged that a particular councillor, I don't want to call name, went out to the vendors and were telling them not to remove.
From
Not to
Demico?
remove. Yes, not to
Man,
remove. That is why you need to be in the meetings, Mr. Courdel. But I'm going to bring it to you. Not to remove.
that's trouble, boy.
You understand? To cause friction and make it look like if it's the PPPC government is doing this when AP and ULET Council did
Mm.
not manage that area properly.
Yeah.
A whole heap of persons. You see, it's a fragile situation, and I'm all for persons, making a living in an organized manner, in an organized way,
Right.
because everybody has to live, and I feel for them. I myself go there and I purchase from them also too. But that is what persons were going to. But it was you know about the different, the amount of mandamuses coming to the council right in this moment, and the amount of letters people are basically cashing in on it at this moment. But
Right.
Courdel, that happened yesterday, sir.
Wow.
And if I can add, you know why they don't want them to move, or why they continue to do this sort of thing that Councillor Jacobs just mentioned. It's because they use them as political pawns. You think
Yep.
those APNU councillors that they truly and truly care about the vendors? No, otherwise they would have found a solution ages ago. Did you know that, for example, that under the PPP government, they purchased from 𝒊𝒏𝒕𝒆 in town a tarmac, a land for
Right.
$300 million, so to help find a solution to the vending
But
problem.
you need to also mention how much it was sold for. It was sold for $5 to $7 million by
And
that
about
council.
300 million
Yes,
to pay back for it.
and then PPPC bought it back for 300 million. Government.
Right. The reality is that the APNU is not interested in any sort
Yeah.
of solution to the vending problem, or at least they're very weak, because they continue to use the vendors as political pawns, right? As political pawns. And if they truly cared about the issue, they would have found a solution years ago. But they
Yeah.
continue to use them as pawns.
But you got to remember,
if there is a protest called by the PNC, those are the people who are right there in town that they call upon to come out and disrupt. You understand? And at the end of the day, those vendors need to understand that that's private legal action. It has nothing to do with the government. The government don't even manage the area. You understand? But I hope the vendors operate with sense. Guys, I'd like to thank you, both Councillor 𝒔𝒆𝒂𝒊𝒆 and Councillor Jacobs, for taking the time to talk with us this morning. I'm gonna be at the next statutory. Oh, you're gonna put me on the spot, so Stephen. But yeah, guys, y'all keep up the good work up there. I'm gonna be checking in with you guys over the weekend to see what are the updates with the wharf, and probably have some of the councillors on next week to give us a more heads up on what is the way forward. Closing statements from both of you before you go. Let's start with Councillor 𝒔𝒆𝒂𝒊𝒆.
Closing statement. Listen, until city council, I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but until city council is honest with themselves and diagnose ourselves honestly, the financial situation at City Hall, the lack of accountability, the lack of transparency, that it's a systemic issue there. Until that is fixed, the city is going to continue to collapse in the same manner that we saw this stelling fall. That's that. Until that is fixed, until you get your financial house in order, stop screaming to the high heavens about not getting enough resources. Get your house in order and get the city moving forward.
Yeah. Councillor Jacobs.
Yes, thanks. I share similar sentiments with my fellow councillor there, but until we have acceptance, until we have people that hold their end of the stick and claim responsibility, there will be no healing, because we would understand that you need to accept your wrongdoings before you actually heal. And they continue to lay blame at admin, at central government, but not look themselves in the mirror and understand where they went wrong and how to correct, their wrongdoings. Until then, we'll continue to be as the garbage city. It's sorry to say. We'll continue to advocate for the citizens of Guyana, right? And we'll continue to push for change at the mayor city council.
Right. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Before you go, I see Councillor Chase Green saying something here. I don't know if I missed this because I've been to the last meeting. But what's this about? The mayor wanting to put the roads on the central government completely now?
So I think you should let Councillor Chase Green come on.
Clear that up.
It was basically 2801 is very clear in terms of vendors on the pavements and also on the streets and so forth, and then moving. But it seems like they may want to rewrite 2801 or try and put it in a fashion that he loves to use this word fashion too, that he can probably see how we can get the vendors to stay. I'm just saying, but he wants to rewrite the 2801 and wants to rewrite a number of things we would know.
Trouble. Guys, thank you for being here. Do have a wonderful and safe weekend. I'll see you guys in the new week. Hopefully we have you guys on the program to give us some more information. Take care. Councillor Jacobs, Councillor 𝒔𝒆𝒂𝒊𝒆.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks.
Thank you, Courdel. Yeah, later.
So those were some city councillors giving us a rundown on what happened at City Hall with this situation that just took place there, and basically not much still. I'm working very hard to get a special guest next week who will give us all the logistics behind the scenes at City Hall. So we will be better able to understand the nonsense happening under the management of the APNU, AFC, PNC run City Hall there. Guys, I want to encourage you guys to be safe this weekend. Have fun out there. But remember to be safe if you're going to drink. Have a designated driver. Look out for people crossing the road. Careful on the Hero Highway. Careful on all the highways and byways. Continue to be good Guyanese. And as I always say before I go, it's all about peace. It's all about love. It's all about what Guyana.